You're listening to a podcast from the Finnish Football Show.
Yep.
Hello, welcome to the Finnish Football Show. Today it's our absolute pleasure to welcome yet another special guest to the show, a Finland international player who's recently cemented himself into the Huuhkajat starting 11, a member of the Euro 2020 squad, and a guy who we are certain will be commanding the Finnish defence for years to come. Welcome to the Finnish Football Show, Robert Ivanov.
Thank you very much. I'm very glad to be here with you guys.
That's lovely, Rob. I mean, as I said, thanks for joining us. It's really good of you to take the time. We really appreciate you joining us today to have a chat through your career and some more up-to-date stuff of what you've been up to recently.
Yeah, no problem, of course. Yeah. Thank you very much for having me.
It's a pretty busy time at the moment as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I could say, yeah. Well, today we had a little bit easier day. We had only the meeting. We watched the clip, we watched the film from the yesterday's game, and other than that, I just had a massage and a little recovery session, and yeah, that's about it. So today was quite easy day.
On Sunday,
that's better than my day already.
Oh, there we go. All three of us at once. Who wants to go first?
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, sounds better than my day, Rob. But yeah. But no, I mean, if we just get onto your career, I mean, the reason we reached out to you, Rob, I mean, we like to do these interview shows, but your club Warta Poznan made a short film about you recently ahead of Finland's final World Cup qualifier versus France last year, and it was such great content that we just had to sort of reach out to you and get you onto our podcast. So, I mean, it must have felt pretty good to you that those guys from Warta came over to Helsinki and they wanted to see you playing for Huuhkajat. Like, that must have been so good for you.
Yeah, 100%. Especially when I know that the budget they have, that's not big that they have to deal with, and to really fly over to Finland, Helsinki, to spend here time to video everything, and the whole document that they made, it was beautiful. 30 minutes or something ish, and yeah, I was like super surprised that they had, or that they wanted to do that, and yeah, I think it was amazing job from them, and just have to thank them, and just yeah. But yeah, I'm flattered, and yeah, they have done very good and great job the whole season for us, and yeah.
It was amazing that they bumped into your former army.
Yeah, man, that's
like
that? Yeah, that's crazy stuff. I messaged him after it, and yeah, we had a good laugh about it. So yeah,
it was a pretty cool night. I mean, you guys, the four of us Finnish Football Show hosts, we were there, and you guys did so well against the world champions. I mean, you kept them at bay for so long periods. So it was a really great performance from you guys. But just talking about that video there, I mean, your brother Arto, he mentioned during the film that sport and football in particular really does run in your family. Your father and your grandfather, they were football players, and you told how you used to watch your father playing. What kind of level did your dad play at, and was he a really big influence on you when you was a young guy with regards to playing football?
Yeah, 100%. I remember, or I don't even remember, but I remember that there's like photos and videos of me running on the pitch when I was like 2 years old or 3 or something like that, and running with him there when he was playing with the friends. And so he played on like third division, so it wasn't like pro or even semi-pro. It was just like amateur level. And it was just like Russian guys living in Finland. They got like get together and played. And I still like those guys who my father played with. I still know them well. They still go play every Saturday and Sunday. And every time I'm in Finland, Helsinki, I try to, if I have time, I try to go there and just, say hi and maybe go and play with them a little bit. So yeah, but no, definitely my father was like the biggest influence for me to start playing. And I play, like I probably said, that I played handball, basketball, and football.
Yeah.
My brother played basketball, my mom and sister played handballs, and my father played football. So I just like played all of them at once, and I like them all, but football came on top.
Yeah, I mean, it's you kind of keeping it real there. You're saying that you still catch up with those old guys whenever you can, and yeah, not just watching, have a little kick about with those guys. That's like, yeah, really keeping it real. But
Yeah.
I believe that you played junior football at PK 35, and you also had some time at Jalason Paroseura as well. But by the time you were around 18, you were playing in Kakkonen for FC Myllypuro. What was the story behind moving clubs at that young age? And had there been any, I mean, PK 35, we obviously know, but was there any interaction with some of the really bigger clubs in Finland when you were a young lad?
No. When I was like 12, 13, I played in Hoiko in like the edustusjoukkue, so it's like the team where the best players from my age group. So I'm born 94, so Jolle was playing there, for example. At that time I played there, but then well, I got my, I don't know how you say it, like I started growing very fast. I like grew like 10 centimeters in a year or something, so I was just like a bambi on the football pitch. I didn't know how to play. I was and then they dropped me kind of to the second team, and then from there I just started to play wherever my friends were, you know. So, and up until I went to like Honka, I think, like every place or every team I played, I just had to call them and can I come, and they were like, yeah, sure, come and train. So yeah, like there was like first Vikingit, then I think it was PK 35, then it was Laajasalo Palloseura LPS, then Myllypuro, then Vikingit, and then Honka. So it's just in every team that I had a good friends in there, so I just went there and played with them, and it was just more like about having fun than thinking about any. I didn't have any plan to like, okay, this is what I want to do, and to like this is the way to be as a professional player or whatever. I was just having fun and playing football. But then of course when I got to Honka, it was like I was gonna start thinking like, okay, maybe this is it, how to be a professional football player.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool story, you know, like you just bounced around a few clubs playing with your mates just for fun. It's like it's kind of like a refreshing story, you know, like obviously a couple of us guys are based in England, and you hear stories about kids being in academies at so young age, and maybe some of the fun goes out of their football for them, you know. There's a lot of pressure, so to hear that you guys were just playing for fun, it's really cool. But I think it was at Myllypuro that you worked under the Russian coach Ravil Savitov, and like how big an influence was Ravil on you at that time? And did you feel already then? You mentioned it was when you got to Honka, but when you were working with Ravil, did you feel that a career at the top of the game was within reach?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like in Honka when I got there, it was like more professional, but of course 100% this coach Savitov, he told me at very critical time that you can be a football player if you start practicing like properly, and like you even try to be like a professional football player, try to live, try to eat, try to sleep, you know, because at 17, 18, you know, if you haven't lived that life, you are just, you know, going with your mates, partying, whatever it is you are doing. So yeah, I had to, and I think that was like the critical also, because many of my friends, they didn't have this one voice, one coach or whoever who said that you can be a professional football player, you can have a career if you start like really putting the effort there. So I think that's why it was huge for me that he said that, and that's can sound like a little thing for someone, but for me it was like the, you know, groundbreaking stuff. And because I knew he was a good coach. He was in Russia, he was in Kazakhstan, he was in like these countries. I think he won the championship in Kazakhstan, so I knew that he knows football. So for me, it was definitely like one of the biggest like people who have helped me during my career.
I think that recently Ravu has worked in FC Riga with Mikael Soisala. I don't know if they were there at the same time, but I think that's correct. Is it so?
Yeah. He was in the academy, like in some, I don't know which like coaching position he had. He was there, but yeah, he was there.
Yeah, and we've seen that Mikael Soisala is doing really great things over there and breaking into Huuhkajat side as well. So there you go. The coaching must be working. But as you said, in 2015, you transferred to FC Vikingit, who were also playing in Kakkonen at that time, but they were a club with a high profile, having previously been in Veikkausliiga. So how did that first move to Vikingit come about? And you said Honka was really professional, but did already going to Vikingit feel like a step to a more professional scenario?
Yeah, 100%, and it was like refreshing to have this Finnish like approach to it, because in Myllypuro it was like 100% Russian approach, and it like in a way it got to me a little bit like I got anxious over it because they just work differently that I have used to. Because okay, I know I'm part Russian or part Estonian, part Ukrainian, whatever, but I still like lived in this Russian culture and grew. So it was refreshing to go to Viking and I have like a Finnish coach, Finnish sports director, Finnish everything. So it was in a way, but yeah, they just dropped from Ykkönen that 2015 season or 2014, and then 2015 they were in Kakkonen, and then again they were one of my best friends played there, like Osku, then a few others who was like I was very close with, and yeah, then I just went there. They even offered me like a few $100 per month, but I said I was working at the time, and I said no, I don't need any money because I heard that they had some problems, financial problems, and I was like, I don't need the stress in having the 200 euros or whatever in my contract, and then if I don't get it, I'm gonna be like, where's my money? And then it's just like I don't need that stress in my life. I'm working. I got the money from there. I just want to play football, in Kakkonen peacefully. And and it was great. It was really great. And we were quite good. We were, I think, third at the table at that season, and nobody expected anything from us. So it was like it was good season.
After I think it was 20 or so appearances and 3 goals for Viking, you transferred to FC Honka. Honka at this time, they were a Kakkonen side as well after facing relegation from the Veikkausliiga due to financial reasons. Were you confident, Rob, that Honka could make it back to the top tier of Finnish football and take you with them?
Yeah, 100%. Like when I got there, I saw the quality they have. The players, Perovo, Otaru, Vekström, these guys, I was like, yeah, this club is definitely going to promote to Ykkönen and definitely belongs in Veikkausliiga. But it's also a process, when you start in Kakkonen, it's a process. It takes time. It's just not that you have good players and then you just go once, year by year. You need to work on it. And I think we even got a quite rough start. I think we lost our first game that season against Tepeve 3-2 away. So it was like a good, it was good that we lost the game because we knew that we need to work really, and it's not enough that we have like I said, good players. We need to really play and train, and yeah, it was a very good season. I got like the amount of games I had and the confidence level I had during the season was phenomenal because I played like midfielder and central back, and so it was like I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, you became pretty much an integral part of that Honka side that achieved back-to-back promotions, firstly to Ykkönen and then back to Veikkausliiga, and you were adding goals to your game along the way. It must have felt so good to be part of a winning team that was climbing the league so successfully. But how did you feel about your own development as a footballer at that time? You said you played in a couple of positions, you scored a couple of goals, but did you feel that you personally were developing at your game at that time?
Yeah, I would say definitely. Like 2016, the first season, we had Rantala as a coach. He was like he had good mentality. He could like push us in a way. Tactically, maybe not that. He always said that we should win every game because we have better players. So in a way, I like this confidence. Maybe someone would say a little bit cocky-ish, but I still liked it. So, but when Vesku came Vasara 2017, that was like the game changer. Also, how I see football now. And for example, why I play how I play now is just like 100%. Everything goes to Vesku, and thanks to him, because I remember the first training he came in. He said that if nobody presses you, you don't have to pass the ball. Just keep the ball in your feet. Wait that the press comes, then pass and try to find the open space and whatever. Go behind the press, and I think like Vesku totally like changed my view on the football, and and Sampo of course, but Vesku he really changed. Like it was crazy because it was like so different that what I was used to. So and I started to really like think about football in totally different way.
It's interesting how the different coaches bring different things, and I think especially the position that you play now, being able to read the game and play like that with the ball at your feet is so important. But yeah, we say like the first season back in Veikkausliiga for Honka was a successful one. I think you guys finished 4th in the league, and you yourself played around 30 games. Did you feel that Veikkausliiga was a real step up in standard, and how did it feel for you to be going up against like the best strikers in Finland?
Yeah, in a way, it was like now when you look back, it feels kind of crazy that it went how it went, because like I think it got to the last game and we won against FFS, and Kups was playing against Mariehamn, and then there was some controversial goal scored in the game, in the Kups Mariehamn game in the last minute. And then because of it we didn't go to Europe, and we lost the 3rd place, and it was like crazy. But I remember just during the season, again, we had a good team, and I was just like, I wasn't thinking like who I'm playing against, which teams, whatever. I was just enjoying my football. I was just trying to, if Vesku puts me in the lineup, nice, I go out, I try to enjoy it. I made quite many mistakes during that season, but Vesku was like still, it wasn't a big thing for him. He was just, I did like, for him, I did some good stuff on the pitch, so that's why I probably played that much. So I wasn't thinking that much. Of course, when I look back, I was like, whoa, maybe I should have been thinking more about it. But maybe also the mentality was like that. So again, like I said, I enjoyed it very much. So it was good.
Yeah, well, you played almost 150 games for Honka, and after that, Polish side Warta Poznan paid over 300,000 euros for you to help them in their quest to return to the top flight in Poland for the first time in 25 years. I mean, how did that contact with Warta come about? And were you apprehensive about moving to a new country with another new language, or was playing abroad in a foreign league something that you always wanted to experience?
No, definitely, it was my dream when I was growing up that one day I could play abroad. I wasn't thinking that much where, but of course there was some like ideas that if I want to play sometime in Arsenal in England, for example, one day, which was my dream always. I need some stepping stones there, so I'm not gonna move from Honka straight to Arsenal. So Poland was like in a way perfect for that, and I knew that there was some guys played there already. Forsell, for example, Hostikka. I knew that Kappe Hämäläinen and Ara Juuri played there, had successful years there. So it was for me it was like a very natural step in a way. And I don't know about the transfer fee. I don't think it was that much, if I'm honest, because I had like 6 months or 5 months left on my contract, and I don't think that they paid that much. I don't know really. I don't know the total amount, but just for the record, I don't think it's that much, because they would have been a little bit crazy to pay that much when my contract was ending in a few months. But they were really keen on me, and the sporting director from Warta flew to Helsinki to meet me. I don't know if you met some other players also, but it was for me like, whoa, some guy flies from Poland to Helsinki, and it was like during COVID, quite like in the middle of it. So for me, it was like, wow, these guys are serious, and it really like got me the feeling that they really want me, and they are like quite professional about it. And it was just like logical for me. And of course, there was some doubts, like moving abroad to Poland. Like I didn't know much about the country. Like it got surprised me that how many people was living there, and etc. But no, like I said, it was like natural. After all was like done, it was natural step.
Well, I mean, we're going to get onto the next step and what the future might hold for you. But yeah, Rich is an Arsenal supporter, so he'll be happy when you eventually make that move to North London for in the red shirts of Arsenal.
It's about time we had a Finnish player there properly. I know Hugo Keto and Glenn made one appearance in the end. It's Rami Shaban. An old goalkeeper. I think was his mother Finnish. I think
something like that.
Yeah. So it'd be nice to have another.
They have good centre backs though now. Saliba coming back and this, but maybe in a few years, if they need some experience, so maybe I can help them.
Yeah, I'll be there behind the goal watching.
Beautiful.
So you said, Robert, that you mentioned there that Paulus Arjuri and Petteri Forsell, they had been in Poland. Obviously, Kasper Hammarlainen, he'd had some successful time in Poland. Did you ask any of those guys, or Albin Granlund? He's also been playing in Poland. Did you call those guys up and say, hey, what do you think about me going to Poland, or did you just like make your own decisions? And yeah, how does living there in Poland, how does that compare to living in Finland?
Yeah, I messaged Forsell, Petteri. I messaged him. I asked just about like how's the life, how's the culture, like small things, and some contracts, situation details and this and that. And he helped me a lot. It was really nice of him to help. And and then life there has been very, very good. Like the first year was quite difficult because of COVID. The country was in total lockdown, like the first season. Except from the first month and a half, but then after it was just like nothing to do, just at home and taking a walk in a park, and just that's about it. But the second year, this last season, was like I really got the experience of living abroad. I visited Berlin, I visited Warsaw, like these cities next to Poznan. So it was like really, really good experience, and I'm so happy to have experienced it at such a young age.
Robert, when we hear about a lot of teams in Finland when they do training and think they speak English as a common language because of all the different nationalities. Is that a thing in Poland as well that you're aware of?
No. Like I think in only in Pogoń Szczecin, where they had a German Austrian coach, Runiaic Costa. I think he spoke English, but I think every other team had a Polish coach, or like some Legia had Serbian coach, but he spoke Polish. So, but no, I was so amazed how short their English were. Like I was like, what are these guys doing? Because like I don't know, like still now we were just laughing with Nilo Mäenpää. Yeah. That some of our guys went to Greece for vacation, and they don't speak English at all. I don't know how they managed to survive there, because it's and my girlfriend also, she was like, first game we draw, we go out, there's players, their misses, whatever, girlfriends, and my girl tries to small talk, okay, this, and they're just like they show like this, no, not a word of English. And how I don't know how they survive, because it was really like amazing for me to see this.
How do you survive in Poland? How is your language skill? Your English is excellent, but how is your Polish?
Yeah, I can talk like, especially like if you talk football stuff, I think I can manage quite well. Just after last game from Krakow, I got a taxi to the airport, and I spoke like I could speak with the taxi driver. Who am I? Where I'm coming from? Blah blah blah. So these kind of things, but of course it's not perfect. So I can survive.
these two guys are both living sort of in and around London, but I'm up in Seinäjoki, and I've been here 14 years. But it's only really the last few years I've really started to try and make an effort with the language. And I got a job for a few days a week. I'm able to speak Finnish every day and use it every day. And just seeing the progress go like this, it's incredible. If you have to, of course, you don't really have to. Even in Seinäjoki, you can get by with English. So
but that's amazing that even in Seinäjoki you can, because it's a small city. So, but that's good for you. So Finnish is a difficult language. So I can imagine that it's not easy to.
Yeah, I'm not quite at the big boss level yet, but I'm working my way up there.
Yeah, there was a didn't Warta release another video, Robert? When Nilo joined the club, there was like a little video of you teaching him a couple of Polish words.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. They are creative with things like that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, I guess it's nice for you to have Nilo there. You can chat away to someone in Finnish, and the Polish guys have even less of a clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, 100%. And he moved just next door, so we are neighbors, and we go every day to training together. And so yeah, it's been really nice this past 6 months that when he moved there. And I think for him also it was because he's more like a typical Finnish guy, quite shy, quite doesn't speak much. So to have the one guy who you can speak whenever you want something, so it's been for him probably also good.
So back to the football, your first season in Poland was a successful one, with Warta finishing 5th in the league. I think you missed out on Europa League qualifying only on goal difference. Were you happy with your own performances across the 22 games you played? And again, same kind of question, but did you feel a step up in quality in Ekstralassa than you'd been used to playing in Veikkausliiga in Finland?
Yeah, I could say now the difference in Veikkausliiga was quite big in terms of the quality of players. Technically or tactically, there wasn't much difference. I would even say that probably in Veikkausliiga they are more tactical, because in Poland they just like to go. They don't think much. They just go forward. Yeah. So that was good. It was good to see for me that I can adapt to that kind of game also. So that I don't need to have the ball with me all the time or to defend small amounts, because in Warta we defended quite a lot. So the first 6 months were quite difficult, really. After when we had the Christmas break, I was saying to my girl that I'm going back to Honka. I don't want this. This is why I don't know why they get me here. I don't play. I played 6 games in the first round, but then after Christmas break, in January I came back, and we had the mini camp, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna show them that they don't have any choice than just put me in. And that's more or less what happened. And it was great. The second part of the season, the spring, and the 5th position was crazy, because that was nobody could believe or guess that we would be in 5th position. It was I don't know, 30 years, 40 years since Warta had been so high in the table. So it was good.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. Just leaving that for a moment, and we want to talk for a little bit about your international career. I mean, already your performances for FC Honka had been noticed by Rive Canara, and you made your debut, I believe, as a 85th minute substitute for Albin Granlund in a 1-0 friendly over Sweden back in 2019. But your first start for Huuhkajat came a little while later in a friendly against Estonia. Was silly question, but was it always a dream of yours to play for your country? And how did it feel to put on that jersey and make your national team debut?
Yeah, it was a dream, but it was quite far away. It wasn't I didn't even think about it that much. Of course, when I was a ball boy, for example, 2008 or 7 in a national team game in Olympic Stadium when we played against Russia and we lost 3-0.
Yeah.
I was it would be nice to play here someday, but it wasn't okay, this is it. I'm gonna push for it. So when I got the call from Rive that, hey, you want to come with us, I was like, man, is some crazy stuff. And then when I had put the shirt on and everything, it was unreal experience. And it's just like, of course, the Euro last year was like the mountain highest peak, but at that time to wear the shirt, it was like craziest stuff ever.
Yeah, I think in that first game you were paired in the center of defense with the experienced Juhani Ojala for that Estonia game. Did having a player with his experience next to you help you settle into your first start in international football?
Yeah, 100%. And Toivio played as a right back, so I had like good, solid, experienced guys next to me. So it was really helpful. And Toivio has, like, ever since until he stopped playing for national team, he was always on these camps with me. Every time I have been here, he's been here. So in a way, he's been like the guy who I like. When I'm here, he is here. So in a way, he got this big brother kind of type, even though like we weren't like that much together. But in a way, I just looked up to him a little bit. So I know, of course, Ojala Jude, funny guy, good jokes, and really nice guy also, and helped me a lot also.
After that initial taste of international football, you slipped out of the squad for a while. Was it tough to watch Huuhkajat making their way to our first major tournament, or were you able to enjoy watching those games along with the rest of us fans?
No, of course I enjoyed it. I was really happy for them. Of course, sometimes I was like thinking, okay, maybe I could feel that I deserve to be there in a place of some other players who were playing in my position. But I knew that it's very difficult from Honka to go as a centre back there. I knew that we had problems with fullbacks, especially on the right side. We didn't have that like top quality like we had with Jere Uranen as a left fullback, and of course then we had Paukku Joona and the Väisänen brothers and Ojala, of course. So, no, I enjoyed it a lot. I remember watching the Liechtenstein game when we got the place, and I remember Helsinki just blew. It was so nice to see, and I enjoyed it.
We've talked in the Finnish football show before that being left out of a squad doesn't necessarily mean the end of the international career. Rive tends to bring players in and out of the squad. Is that something that's talked about? What's your experience of that from the inside?
No, I think it just keeps the competition, open, and I think there's been many cases. For example, Euros, when the squad got announced and Ojala, for example, was left out, it was like, I felt bad for him because he's been around, for many years, and like I think everybody was like thinking he's certainly gonna be in the squad. But I think Rive has good he handles quite well this thing, and because there's players coming in and then sometimes there's some guys left. They are gonna be leaving out of the squad. So. But it keeps, especially for me now, like every time I get the invitation for this past year, I get excited, and for me, it's like the biggest thing. And I get and then I start to wait again for the national break. And, for me, it's still like I get so hyped about it. So it pushes you also when I'm with Warta, for example, and I try to play as well as possible because I know that Rive is watching. So I think the harmony is quite good here regarding that.
You just do it by just talking to players, communicating, making sure that people understand what's going on. Is it as simple as basic man management?
Yeah, definitely. And I think Rive, he does it well, and he's quite open, and he knows how to talk. You can see that his background as a teacher, and he's quite solid with it.
I think it's really, really a kind of refreshing thing for guys to know that if they don't make it to one squad, then there's always the chance that they're gonna be picked for the next squad. I think, like as you said, Rob, it keeps them on their toes in their club. and they can always push to get back in that international setup. I think it's a really, really refreshing thing. But you yourself, you returned to the Huuhkajat squad as the qualifiers for World Cup 2022 started, and you had 2 90-minute appearances in the spring of last year in the Euro 2020 warm-up friendlies. How were you feeling about your own chances to make it to that final Euro squad?
No, I couldn't believe. Like I wasn't believe. I was like, okay, I got the chance against Switzerland, and I played okay, but I was still thinking like, no, unless there's gonna be injuries for Ojala or Väisänen brothers, or of course Paukku or Joona, then maybe. But if there's no injuries, I was like, no way, I'm gonna be in the squad, because especially when I played against Sweden in the second last game, and I was like, man, and I was like, I remember I was so nervous when I was, because I knew that it was like the last game before the squad is gonna be announced. But yeah, so I was like quite sure that he's not gonna pick me, Rive, or the coaching staff. And I remember when we went to the meeting room and the squad got announced, I was just holding back tears, and I was like, because we had masks on. Well, I was very lucky that we had them, because like I think my facial expressions were like like going around, and
the
I was
tears
just
running down inside the mask.
Yeah, and I was just like trying to look forward, not have the eye contact with someone, because it was crazy. It was like one of the most tense situations I have ever been in my life.
It was, it certainly was, and the again, for those media guys, we gave some kudos for the ones at Warta, but yeah, the squad announcement video that Huuhkajat put out was something pretty cool. That was pretty impressive. It was really good fun to watch that.
Yeah, 100%. And because we watched it also first time when the squad got announced, so it came as a surprise for everyone that it was like that. And then when I saw that Kira Korpi got my name, or she put out my name, I was like, well, all my friends freaked out, because she's quite beautiful in a way. So so everyone was like, what's going on? And I was like, hey, what is going on? Why? Because I thought that there's gonna be some connection, like Jere had his sister and this kind of stuff. But yeah, it came as a total surprise. But one of the most beautiful videos, yeah, totally, or announcements.
Was that when you actually heard that you were in the squad, or had you been told before?
No, we Rive told us the day before, at 10 p.m. and then the next day it got announced.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Otherwise, that's like a game show where you just have to sit there watching YouTube to see if you're in the squad. Okay.
Yeah.
So just quickly, Rob, what are your memories from that Euro campaign? I mean, we've talked at length about it. Obviously, it was historical for Finland to make it there to our first major tournament. But yeah, what are your memories that you can take away from that Euro campaign?
Yeah, well, just my first like proper memory would probably traveling to Russia by train. It was super hot, super like nice day, and just to go there with a bunch of bags and a lot of luggage, just like, wow, this is really it. And then going to Copenhagen, to Denmark, and to see the vibe, to see the flags, to see just the hype in the city. And then the training first, or the last training before the game, to go there to see like the Denmark giving us the middle finger, because we had the Finnish bus, and just to have this atmosphere, and to see the stadium, to see that and then of course the Eriksen case was just horrible, but luckily everything turned out fine. And but yeah, the like the hype and the vibe before the Denmark game, it was like one of the best feelings I have ever and the sense that something great is going to happen, and something that people have waited for so long, and that was just like, to be part of it, it was unreal.
Yeah, it was. We enjoyed watching so much. I mean, we've talked that maybe there was maybe some missed opportunity in the Russia game to get some more points
100%.
on the board, but it is what it is. It happened, and then obviously in the final game against Belgium, the guys did so well to keep like one of the best teams in the world, keep it at 0-0 for so long, and then but it was heroic 3 games, I think, especially you mentioned it, the way that the players and the fans conducted themselves in the wake of what happened to Christian. I think, you know, everybody from Finland squad and players can come out from that Euro with their head held high. But when
100%.
When the Euros completed, you yourself put in another 90-minute friendly appearance with the 0-0 draw with Wales. There was a real sense amongst the fans that Rive was starting to look to the future with players such as yourself and Daniel O'Shaughnessy, Leo Väisänen were picking up more and more game time. When the World Cup qualifiers resumed, you were on the bench, but as the campaign went on, you started to feature really heavily in the last 3 fixtures, which, you know, it saw us narrowly miss out on a playoff spot. We talked about that game against France, but had you, at this time, did you sense yourself that your time was coming? And had there been any discussion within the squad about the impending double retirement of the legends who are Joonas Toivio and Paolo Sarajuri?
Yeah, definitely the September international break where we played with Joona against the Wales game. You could like see that, okay, if Joona and me we play against Wales, that we're not gonna play against Kazakhstan. Yeah, Kazakhstan game. And you could see from, for example, Joona, he was quite like not happy, let's say, like that he wasn't starting the game. And so yeah, there was this kind of I don't know, you could probably say a little bit of an elephant in the room about it, but I think some guys spoke about it, but it wasn't like, in a way, it was just like, you know, you train as hard as you can, and then because the results weren't that good, for example, Ukraine game at home, then we had the Kazakhstan game that we had to win, and then Rive made this change to play again in the fourth line in defense. So then, you know, I think it's just in a way like a normal thing to try something new. And I was there, I was fit, you know, and just ready to, if I have my chance, I'll try to do the best out of it. So I think it was just like normal, like normal movement towards trying something new. Nothing special for me. It was just like one guy going out, one guy coming in, you know, and it's not like he was changed like 10 guys, but it was like few guys coming out, few guys coming in, and then we did well with Kazakhstan, and then we did well with Bosnia, and so you can give again kudos to Rive for having the balls to try to change some.
Sorry, Rich.
No, I was just going to ask, in terms of that, obviously, Tim Sparv was coming to the end of his career as well, and I think with Paulus and Joona, that was something that I think a lot of people saw coming. Was that discussed at all in the transition and the way that a captain like Tim Sparv had been in the team for 8 or 9 years, that was moving on as well? So it wasn't just yourself, but it was the whole kind of the leadership of the team. Was that something that was starting to impact you?
No, I think with Sparv it was more clear because you could see that his body wasn't just holding anymore, and you could see that he was like going to end his, or like he was around the end of his road when it comes to his playing career. And it was like people, like it was more like it didn't come as a surprise that okay, it came as a surprise that he ended his career like totally, but to just retire from national team or so I think people were like, okay, this is like more normal. But that Joona and Paulus to have this retire, because I spoke with Joona and he was saying sometimes during this autumn that maybe if we don't get to the qualifiers, to these qualifiers to the World Cup, that this is gonna be probably his last year playing as a national team. And then I was like, okay, that's quite big news. But then again, like when it comes to leaders, we have Teemu, we have Roba, we have Jolle, we have Rade, we have Lukas. So like there's so many leaders here that when they left or when they retired or were thinking about it, just the other guys stepped up. And I think again now during these few games you can again see that there's of course holes that they left all three of them, but it's just natural that some of us have to step up and take the responsibility of to lead and to just guide the team forward.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously the scenes at the end of the France game were pretty emotional. You know, Ariuri and Toivio there was saying their goodbyes to Pohjois-Karjala, and it was, you know, to have gone up against the world champions and with that playoff spot just in grasp, and to go such a good game. The four of us guys, we were there in Helsinki for that game, and yeah, it was despite the result, it was such a great night, you know, and for those guys to bring the curtain down on their international careers, it was really special to witness that. But yeah, I mean, so I guess you already answered, but you didn't feel that the boots were too big to fill, Rob? You were confident that you would just slide into those places left by Paulus and Joona?
No, I didn't feel that they were too big, because it was like smooth transition in a way, and they were always friendly towards me and the other younger center backs, and there was not like this kind of I don't know, was it malice or this kind of thing, that it was just like they understood that okay, there's some young bulls coming in now, hungry. They can smell some blood, you know. Yes. Maybe they can have the opportunity, and then we just, you know, try to play as good as possible, and because it also, the coaches try to guide the tactical evolution or whatever towards that. We need to maybe defend bigger areas and have more legs in a way. So it was just like natural transition to, okay, maybe now we need some younger legs, younger guys who can maybe run a little bit more. So it wasn't like, you know, that, okay, of course, these guys, this Sparv, Paulus and Joona, they guided Finland to the first ever Euro championship. So there will be forever legends in Finnish history, football history. So of course, in that way, if you think about it, you can feel or see that, okay, there's the boots are too big, but if you think that like too much, then you just lose focus on the game. So we just try to, you know, play and make them proud, because Pauku and they were now in the stands during the Montenegro game, and we could catch up with them, and they were all smiles, you know, and having a few beers and just enjoying the retirement. So it's all good vibes, and I think they enjoy their time now to be the fan and see the games from the stands.
Yeah, so after that, the next Huuhkajat fixtures were the friendly games in Spain against Iceland and Slovakia. You yourself, Rob, put in another 90-minute performance in the second game against Slovakia. I travelled to Spain, and it was a kind of a weird atmosphere to be in, with not so many fans in such a big stadium. It was like it was so crazy to hear you guys talking to each other so clearly, you know, like we.
Yeah. It was definitely weird, and the whole international break in Spain, it was all around quite weird. The weather was bad, and the food was quite bad. And then the rain was there, and then the games were a little bit like, you know, nothing to play for in a way. Of course, they're friendlies, they're national team games, you want to win them. There's like, but still there was just like this weird vibe that you could probably then see from our game that we weren't like at our best.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was exactly the same. I was expecting to be walking about with sunglasses and shorts on, and I needed my Huuhkajat scarf in my neck, because it was a bit chilly there in Spain. But yeah, it was for me personally, it was a nice experience, as I said, just to be able to watch the game in like almost a closed stadium, and just hear you guys talking to each other and talking your way through your tactics and your game. So it was an interesting experience. But yeah, after that we faced our old friends Bosnia this weekend, just gone, and in the first of our Nations League League B Group 3 games, and we had to settle for a 1-1 draw. I mean, we're taking a first half lead, but Bosnia equalised. I don't know, it was like 90+4 or something to steal a point. How did you guys feel? Firstly, how did you feel about your own performance, and then how did you guys, as a team and a squad, feel about the game to let that goal in so late?
No. Well, first of all, I think the game we played okay. We didn't play like at our best, but we could create some chances. And how Roba and Teme and Glenn played and attacking third, like, was so nice to see from behind, and to just I really enjoy watching how they play. It's just like, for me, crazy guys. The quality is unbelievable, but yeah, of course, very like frustrated that they could score late on, but maybe like I said to some other, so Yle or NTV, when they asked about it, that maybe it was good, like, learning lesson for us, that we need to play until the end, and we a little bit maybe took off the gas in a way that we didn't play anymore at our like game plan, that we started to play long balls. We didn't try to keep the ball, and we maybe didn't have the courage to try and just play out. Of course, in the end, we had the nice combination. We had like 30-40 passes, and the crowd got on, and we got the free kick in their half. But yeah, still, I felt like we were like too passive and defended too low, and maybe they even deserved it, the goal to tie the game. But yeah, it's just like it was good that this Montenegro game came so quick, so we didn't have much time to dwell on it, and just like we watched the film, we checked the clips, and we moved forward.
Did you get a push in the back?
Oh yeah.
Before that goal went in.
Yeah, 100%. And I asked he was Scottish referee, and I was like, come on, mate, you know, what's going on? If I do that, 9 out of 10, they're gonna whistle a foul. Because if I jump and I try to head the ball and someone pushes me from the back, you don't need a big push. It's enough that you just a little bit, and then I lose my balance already. And then, you know, so yeah, I don't know, maybe 6, 7 out of 10 times referee would whistle that, but it was so late in the game, so maybe he didn't want to, you know, I don't know. Maybe for him it was too soft, but like I said, some referees whistle that, some not, so bad luck in a way.
Well, he'd already missed a handball in the first half, hadn't
he? Yeah.
Scottish referees for you.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, yeah, like you said, Rob. I mean, and I said to these guys when we did our short summing up of the Bosnia game, I mentioned that, you know, we'd been messaging, and the first thing you said was, you know, we move on, and that's exactly, you guys didn't dwell on that 1-1. You just decided to put it behind you and move on, and that's exactly what you did, because yeah, yesterday we managed a comfortable 2-0 win in front of our own fans to beat Montenegro. I mean, sun was shining. Not it was much better than Spain, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Sun was shining. The stadium was full. The guys in Pohjois-Karjala were singing their hearts out. And yeah, I would go as far to say it was a comfortable 2-0 win.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, again, I have to just say how grateful all of us are to how much Pohjois-Karjala and the whole stadium is cheering and helping us, and like the atmosphere is like, I couldn't believe it. Like the France game, I was almost crying when I was walking on the pitch, because I saw the stadium so full first time and everything. So, but yeah, Montenegro, we knew that they just beat Romania 2-0, and we were like, wait. So if they beat Romania 2-0 quite comfortably, it means that they're a good team, proper team. So we need to be ready for whatever, because with these teams, you never know how they come out. Are they gonna press? Are they gonna play in 4 or 5? What's the game plan? So you just need to be ready for whatever. And I think we showed that. We had a little rocky start. We were like a little bit maybe nervous, and we had also quite many changes in our team. Jensen played first start, Lingman second cap. So and how they played is, you could feel that they have played 100 games for national team. So yeah, we could manage, and of course 2 brilliant goals, the first especially, and again, the atmosphere was just so nice. Tuesday at 7 p.m., you know, in Finland. Okay, it's summer and this and that, but still to have over 17,000 fans to come and watch, I think it just also shows how the football is progressing, especially the culture. And yeah, good game. Just second half was more or less just trying not to concede and play out the game and maybe score the third one, but we didn't. But still, yeah, I think it was quite solid game from all of us.
We was all hoping for a Jolle hat trick. It was.
Yeah, I think he was also quite hungry for it because I think he was quite pissed about not playing any minutes against Bosnia. But yeah, he scored two goals, so he can be happy about it.
Two crackers.
Can I just say, Rob, but the first goal was a fantastic team effort, but Mika Vauranen put a video out today. It looked like he'd been broken down from a coaching perspective and starting with you stepping out from the back, bringing the ball out. Is that something that Rive's been really encouraging you, especially when you're working as a free, to bring that ball forward?
Yeah, 100%. Especially like I said, that if nobody's pressing me and there's space, use the space. Go into that space, because then that means that somebody has to soon come to press me, and then there's again space. So, and and that's also one thing what we spoke when Vesku came into Honka, that he teached that thing to me, and Rive was also, the game plan was that we need to be just careful with the ball, and that we know that if we can just have the ball a lot, there will be spaces. It doesn't matter if it's first 20, 25, 45, 50 minutes played. Just have to be careful and be patient, and that's I think how we score also the first one.
Yeah, no, it's really great performance. It's sometimes we've been talking that sometimes it's a little bit nerve-wracking for us fans to see you guys passing it across the back of defence there, but you guys know what you're doing, so we've got nothing to worry about. But yeah, I mean, just getting back to your club side, Rob. The season in Poland now is wrapped up, and Warta finished around mid-table this season with 11 wins from the 34 games. I'm sure you guys would have wanted to build upon your great 5th place finish last year, but this campaign was a little bit tricky. Do you feel that you can regroup to make a challenge for the European spots next year?
I think 100%, especially with this new coach we have, young, talented, very, very smart coach who we have now. With him, definitely, he organizes our team so well, and when he came on in November, I think they changed the coach. Since then, you could see just clearly that he has very good ideas how to play the football, and especially how it ticks with our team. And of course we need some signings now, because we had a lot of loan players. Some players ended their contract, but yeah, definitely 100% I believe that we can build especially on this season, and then to try look forward to have a better position.
I think I'm right in saying you're contracted to Warta until next summer. Is there any pressure from either side to get a new deal worked out, or is that something you're not worrying about too much?
No, I'm not worrying too much. We know, they know what position I am. I know which position they are, so I don't have any problem. Just and now I have to see these 2 games what we have left in national team, and then time for some break, and then I just go back there and we see where we are. And there's no pressure. Yeah,
I mean, until I keep an eye on Warta now, obviously, because you and Nilo are there, and and it's great to see the videos, and it seems to me from the videos that I've seen that you enjoy your football there, you know. So yeah, I guess you'll be happy there until Arsenal come calling.
Yeah, exactly. I'm waiting. Maybe it's easier for me to spend the year there than go as a free agent to Arsenal. So then I have to spend some money on me, just the salary. But yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping for that.
Cool, Rob. I mean, thanks so much for talking to us. We've been joined by our new mate Ali. Hello, Ali. How you doing?
Hi, Mitch.
Hi, guys. Hi, Robert.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I mean, Rob, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Montenegro game. If you want to hang about for 5 minutes and just give us a little bit more of an insight into that, but we've kept you for I think it's been an hour already. But
no
yeah,
problem.
if you got another few minutes for us, that'd be
Yeah,
fantastic.
100%.
Rob, but
Keke, do you want to just do a sort of proper outro as well, and then we can sort of start the next one as a sort of separate recording, separate show.
2 seconds. Okay,
yeah.
So thanks so much for joining us, Rob. I mean, your commitment that you show when you play in a Finland shirt it's clear for all to see, and yeah, we love seeing you smile when you're playing football. You said at the top of the show that you started off playing for enjoyment, and I think it's clear for all of us to see that you still enjoy your football. So first of all, thanks so much for that, and thanks for joining us on the Finnish Football Show, Robert. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, mate.
Yeah, the same, and thanks very much for having me, and yeah, have a great summer all.
You've been listening to the Finnish Football Show. You can find us online at finishfootballshow.com. Remember to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening or watching. You can follow the Finnish Football Show page and group on Facebook and on Instagram. See the links in the episode description below. You can also connect with the 4 hosts on Twitter, at Explore Finland, at FC Suomi, at Escape to Suomi, at Keke. Links to the Finnish Football Show merch stores are also in the episode description.